can hardly believe that these little beauties have already popped their heads up. It is only, well, this was about February 10th, so this is pretty early for crocuses to pop up. I was in Delaware last weekend and spotted this field of them, and it was just so beautiful. After winter, it just feels so good to hold and touch flowers in the ground. I say after winter, I mean it is still winter actually. When I lived in Delaware, I used that little purple field often for photos, but this particular weekend I went to another one of my favorite spots for photos. As I mentioned in a video previously, I am going to be giving up wedding photography. I've been doing child and family photography as well for a long time, but there's just not enough time to do it all and do it all well. But I think when I think about what makes my heart the happiest, it is working with little people, and child commercial photography is such a fun thing to get to do.
Just like that.
I'm always seeking out smaller, more independent clothing companies to work with because I really like the personalized touch. I like getting to know the designer, and I especially like when it comes to children having a type of shoot that's just laid back, no pressure for them. I don't ever want to be a part of children not feeling good about themselves or feeling pressured. I just want us to have a good time and laugh.
There we go. Good, I'm breaking the rule.
I like that one because of the sun.
The sun, yeah.
Oh, hi.
What makes you a beautiful person?
Not a lot of makeup. Just be you.
Just be you. I like that.
Yeah.
And what makes a beautiful heart?
To be kind, be honest, and be confident.
I love that. That should be a t-shirt.
Yeah,
Be
I know.
kind, be honest, and be confident. Okay.
And be kind.
And be kind.
Don't forget that.
If someone was sad, what would you tell them?
I would say, why, what happened, and what can I do to make you feel better?
A little bit. There it is. Close your eyes again. Now you're a little bit happy. You ate Chick-fil-A. Is that your Chick-fil-A face? A little bit happier. You know what? Let's do this guy's over here. We're gonna do a flop.
The thing about working with children too that I just love is that they remind me that it's really the silly little things you can do that are the most fun. So I stayed in the park after we were done our shoot as the sun set and enjoyed just some simple little moments the way a kid would do. There's something about this park that makes me feel like I'm not in Delaware, like maybe I'm even in England, though I've never been there. But this little spot especially, can't you just picture Mr. Darcy walking down that hill? I definitely can. And back to rainy, dreary New York, where there may not be a Mr. Darcy, but there is an amazing thrift store that I haven't been to in so long. I love this thrift store, not just because of the fun things I find, but I love that the little animals are just wandering around. My first spot that I always look in this thrift store is the linens, because I always find such fun things like this adorable little number that's going on my table, and this for my kitchen is the perfect color. I used to come into this thrift store a lot when I lived much closer to it, in part because I really loved having the animals. I didn't have Charlie at the time and I was missing having a dog. So I would find these treasures, but I'd also have all these little animals I could pet because there's always animals from the SPCA in there for you to meet. And it's like my two favorite things, thrifting and animals. This little kitty is obviously not very shy, looking for a home and blocking my way to The perfect little table. I finally found it, guys. My perfect little table.
Well, okay, I was not planning on being on camera today. I was not going to be shooting today, but look what I found. I went to the thrift store, the SPCA thrift store that is, I don't know if it's actually in Hyde Park, it's near Poughkeepsie, but I used to go there every day. Like when I used to live in Hyde Park, and I would go there basically every day because they got in the coolest things and they were so inexpensive, and I felt like they were the like model thrift store as far as pricing things normally, like good thrift store prices, so that you can actually turn the stuff over and then they get lots of donations. And it just seemed to make a lot of sense to me. Whereas around here, the thrift stores put these incredible prices, knowing that a lot of people from New York City come up. So they put these massive prices and then stuff doesn't get sold. So they kept their prices really reasonable. And I noticed, I went today, the prices are definitely higher than they used to be, because it's been probably 5 years, I think. 4 or 5 years since I lived over here. They still remembered me though. That's how often I went. They still remembered me because I really did go like every day. But I walked in and there it was, my 32-inch round table, which why it's been so hard to find, I have no idea. I'm so happy, and I'm now sitting in front of, I'm gonna make a confession, and I don't know if this is super weird or if other people experience this, but I have moved a lot in the Hudson Valley. And each time I move, one of my biggest things is to find a good grocery store. The grocery store, because eating's super important to me, and I'm not someone who eats out very often. I like to cook and I like to make my own food, and I like things to be good quality, organic if it's possible. So typically it's like the first thing, the most important thing. And in the Hudson Valley, we have no Trader Joe's, we have no Whole Foods or Wegmans or any of the stores like that that are just kind of what I would love to shop at. But I ended up, when I lived in Hyde Park here, I loved this Stop and Shop that I've just pulled into now. And I had this huge wave of like emotion wash over me and nostalgia. And I'm excited to walk down the aisles because like I also spent a lot of time in this grocery store, and I don't like the grocery stores where I live. Yeah, I haven't found one that I particularly care for. And it's the first place in the Hudson Valley where I don't like my grocery stores. It's fine. I'm obviously well fed, so it's fine. But yeah, I was pulling in and just felt a little emotional pulling into the grocery store parking lot. And I guess I should acknowledge why I'm here in Poughkeepsie and be grateful for how things went, because so this is possibly a single woman problem, or maybe it's, you know, other people's problems too. I don't know. But as a single woman, finding a good mechanic is really, really hard. And I'm not just thinking good, but I'm thinking honest. And cars are necessary evil. Like we all have to pay to fix our cars. That's just a reality. But I don't want to be charged for things that are not broken. And I've definitely had the experience where I don't trust the mechanic, and they can tell just by meeting me that they could probably pull one over on me. So anyway, when I lived in Poughkeepsie in this area, I had a mechanic I really trusted, and just kind of a no frills, just gonna fix it up. And I know he's not lying, and many times he's even been like, it's not worth it, don't even worry about it, your car's old, just it's safe the way it is, leave it. And I really appreciate that. So all my brake lights came on the other day, which could be nothing. It could be like a sensor, or it could be, you know, something huge, like your brakes are gonna fail. So I didn't want to walk into any of the mechanics that I don't have a real relationship with now over on the other side of the river where I'm living. And yeah, so I decided, oh, I'm gonna drive the hour over to Poughkeepsie, which is crazy to drive an hour for your mechanic. But I just knew that it would be, you know, I just knew that he would tell me the truth, whatever it was. And it is a computer kind of a problem. So I'll be debating whether or not it's worth it to fix this car. He said it's perfectly safe as it is. So, but anyway, I was over here kind of grumbling my way over because I also had to leave really early this morning to get here. And then I was like, oh, since I'm here, let me check out the animal thrift store. And that is what led me to my beautiful new table that I cannot wait to get home and decorate with.
But before I make it home, there was just one more place I had to stop.
So this is a U-Haul storage facility, and this is the trash. So now whenever I drive by one of these, I always stop and look because it's amazing the things people throw out. And they throw out amazing stuff because they're just tired at some point. You know, if you're in between homes and storing and then taking stuff out of storage, sometimes you just get really tired. So I have found some really cool things and I'm gonna look. This piece is actually like really, really, really nice. I wish I had somewhere to put it. It's a really cute desk. The way I found out about coming to U-Haul, and probably other storage facilities as well, was that a friend of mine contacted me to say that she had her stuff in storage and there was a grand piano, she said, in the trash. And I was like, what? A grand piano in the trash? So I came and looked and was blown away. I thought she just didn't know what she was talking about and it was going to just be like a little console, but nope, it was a grand piano, probably from like the late 1800s, a really, really cool piano that probably someone could restore and do amazing things with. I can't, but just sitting out there and I was like, I can't believe I've driven past this place so many times and didn't realize that there's just like a furniture store for free just sitting there. So I've got my little table in. It's perfect. It's like the perfect size. I'm not exactly sure if it's gonna stay right there or get switched around, but I think right there, which means the side of this cabinet is a little too exposed in all of its weird gray colorness. So thankfully I have a little bit of the wallpaper I used. Oh gosh, this kitchen, look at this. This is real life right here. I have a little bit more of this wallpaper that I just love, oh my goodness, left. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it right here. Progress update. I think I'm gonna need to get an X-OXO knife. It's okay. You know, I could blame it on the furniture, but I'm gonna just admit to the fact that I'm the worst because I don't take time to cut and measure properly. And I still have this part to get done. I would be terrible doing a whole wall, but I love this wallpaper so much. I have been trying to work on being less impulsive with certain things, but this is a perfect example of how I have issues with that. I walked in the door with the table and didn't even put my food away that I bought at the grocery store. It's still just sitting on the counter. But I immediately was like, that wallpaper has to go there. Like, I can't have this table sitting there without the wallpaper there. So poor Charlie is terrified because this new table is in here. He's off hiding. And rather than comforting him or putting my food away, I am doing a poor job of installing wallpaper so that the table has a place to sit where it looks right.
Charlie is almost 2 years old. He'll be 2 next month. And the thing I'm loving so much right now is he's finally becoming a cuddly little dog. He had no interest in cuddling when he was a baby. Being outside barefoot in the sunshine, reading my book on making a French garden is making me so happy. And Charlie is happy to be back out with his sticks, his favorite thing. So some very kind people left some really nice comments on my last video, and they made mention of something that I had knew about but forgot about. And that is, you have to be really careful with these old plates and lead. And I used to pay attention to that when I would go shopping for my plates in thrift stores. I would always check for chips and check to like triple check that it doesn't say like for decoration only, because that's definitely the kind you want to avoid for eating off of. But it is true that I really haven't been paying attention to that recently. So I was thankful for those comments, because knowing that about, you know, how it's a risk with lead, and that makes me want to be careful but not necessarily not look for fun plates. So I went through my plate collection and pulled out these two that I just don't feel super great about, just for various reasons. This one especially, I love this one, but I just love this one. But I don't feel great about eating off of it, thinking about lead. Same thing with this one, which this is, I eat off this plate so much because I think the size of it is perfect. Like, you can see the difference with the sizes. So this one feels like it gives me better portion control, which is a good thing. So I'm a little bit bummed to stop using this one, but it does have some chips on it, and chips are definitely one of the things that can really give problems as far as, you know, if there's a lot of lead in the plate. So I don't want to be like overly scared and not, you know, live my life happily, but I do want to be smart about how I do things. So anyway, I took those two out and I was like, well, I don't want to get rid of them. And then it was perfect because I just moved my Berkey filter. Now that the sun has been coming out, which it didn't come out all winter, now that it's been coming out, the filter was in a spot where it was getting too much sun. So I was basically getting hot water out of it. So I had to move it into a spot that I don't necessarily love its position, but it's fine. It's kind of the only spot it's going to be able to go in. But I was going to put a shelf underneath the mirror, and I feel like that would look really nice. So the filter being there messes up those plans. But then I thought, well, maybe it would be fun to hang the plates up on the wall, which I've never been someone who hangs plates on the wall. It feels, I was going to say it feels a little bit grandma for me, although, I mean, look at my place. My place is very much grandma. So it's probably the perfect thing to do. So I am going to get some little plate hangers and try that out. And that way I don't have to get rid of my plates with the lead, but I can stop eating off of them.
This quiet little moment with my Charlie is something I was very grateful for this week. And we all need that, those little moments that are just, you know, just right. So I would love to hear in the comments below, what are you grateful for this week? What made you happy? Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend.